dumb school stuff in general. That's what I'm just going to be talking about today. So, today, I'm going to be talking about school rules, rate how stupid they are, along with some other dumb school stuff. Let me turn off the light. Nah, I'll need the light. Let me just close this later. But that's basically what I'm going to be talking about today. You know what? Nah. That's pretty funny. I saw that somewhere else, I guess. Yeah! That sexy individual, that's me right there. I closed the door. Yeah, this is it. Y'all can't see all that, though. Y'all can't. Highlight, save to your channel has been unlisted. I don't want to freaking... Why is it so stupid? So, yeah, I'm just gonna have that as a background every time I leave. Y'all can just stare at that, okay? So, if I ever have some stupid reason for leaving, like these stupid rules, you'll know. So, let me make the list first. And while that's happening, I'm gonna start yapping about stupid stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start yapping about this new card game. It's not new anymore, but this card game that I tried to invent. So it's called Pole. I can't talk and think at the same time. I'm sorry, never mind. Just gonna think a lot. What should I name it? Stupid school rules. School rules tier. School S R tier list. S R tier list. So, S tier being S tier, like, completely understandable, logical, everything you would ever need and want in a school rule. So, basically, perfect school rules. A tier is not going to be just A tier. S tier is always going to be S tier because S tier is just S tier. But A tier and below needs names. So, A tier is, like, understandable. No, that's going to be B tier. A tier is going to be good rules. So, boom. B tier is going to be understandable. Understandable? Jesus. Speaking is not my strong suit. Understandable. Cool. So let's make a line right here. So B is understandable. We still need C, D, and F. D and F. So C tier is going to be like... What should I put for F? So B tier is understandable. C tier is like meh, you know? Like, there are worse rules. It's not the worst. I'm gonna put not the worst for C. For D tier, I'm gonna put bad. And for F tier, I'm just gonna put WTF. Because what are these rules and why the hell would you ever want these? Alright, starting off with... And these are going to be rules that I have at my school. So if you don't have these rules at your school, or you have other rules at your school, don't attack me about it, because these are rules that I have at my school. Anyways, with that out the way, first rule is going to be no phones. I'm going to put that in B tier understandable. Okay, so no phones. And I'm going to explain why for all these, so bear with me. The reason why this one's understandable is because, one, obviously kids are going to be slacking off if they have their phone, right? They're going to be on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media still even exists. I live under a rock, so I don't know what social media there is. But they're gonna be on their social media tweeting whatever. And they're not gonna focus on their schoolwork. Or they would be watching videos, playing games, stuff that isn't supposed to be happening during school. But at the same time, there are a few things that the phones could be useful for if we ever need them. Now, my school, what we do is we put them in bags that lock, that can only be unlocked with this magnet thing at the end of the day that they have. They're called yonder bags, is what we lock them in. And they're frustrating because in order to get the phone out, you have to break the yonder bag. And if you break the yonder bag, that's $30. But here's why phones can be useful, okay? Let's say, for example, one in a million chance that there's a school shooter heading to your school. Maybe he's in your class. Maybe he's an adult. For the example's sake, he's an adult who don't like kids and came to my school. 911's coming by so much faster, I think. Again, if you don't make it, last messages to family, What else? Distractions. You can lead him away to where you are. Place a timer for like 5 minutes and just book it. He'll pass by. I'm being unrealistic. This is supposed to be realistic. As realistic as it can be, as I can make it with my baby brain. So, yeah. You can call 911, send your last messages. I don't know. Last one testament. What else? Our iPads, because we use iPads at my school, have 0. And I mean 0 availabilities. We got Safari, but every link is blocked. I'm talking almost every link. Almost every single one that you can think of. Cool Math Games, blocked. YouTube, blocked. Scratch, for some people, it's blocked. You can't even Bluetooth. And for people who don't have the cord, they got like the earbuds. They can download the apps they need on their phone. Plug it in. Boom. It will be so much more convenient to do your work. But it's beats understandable because even though it would make it easier for kids to do their work, they're not doing their work. Us students out there, let's be honest. If we have our phones out in the middle of class, we're not doing our work. I know some of y'all 12-year-olds are vaping louder than you're all doing our work. So that one's going to be in B tier, understandable. Because on one hand, it just feels unnecessary, but on the other hand, it's like, well, if we don't, then this will happen, What's another one? No hats or hoods. That's going to be D tier. Let me just write that down. No hats or hoods is a clear D tier. Because what the heck? Okay? That's such a weird, out of nowhere, out of the blue rule. Where'd that come from? I can understand a ski mask, or shiesty, or whatever y'all want to call it. Because it'll hide your face. Well, even then, if it's not covering your face, it should be fine. A hat like this shouldn't be a problem. A hood like this shouldn't be a problem. If I can make eye contact with you and you not panic, where is the problem at? If I get a haircut and I end up looking more chopped than the freaking Wonder Kid. But no, that's too messed up. Yeah, the kid from Wonder. If I end up looking more chopped, if my hair looks more chopped than the kid from Wonder, I can't put on a hood or a hat? I can't? Why? No glasses either? It'll be 80 degrees outside. Sun is beaming on all of us and I can't have no glasses? You spend all day inside. As soon as I step outside, it's gonna be a flashbang. I can't wear glasses? Only acceptable if it's prescribed. That's understandable. But what's not understandable, like, I actually can't understand it. And go do some. Think about it. Alright, I'm back. And I brought horchata. Y'all can't see it. Horchata, a cup. I brought a big thing of horchata. Coming in or out? You staying in or out? Freaking cat's being inside, so let me just bring you in. Nah, she ran. Anyways. Bring my horchata over here. Horchata cup. It's a really watered down, but it's still good. What was I talking about? No hats and hoods. Stupid rule. Really stupid rule. Because there's no... I can't think of a reasonable reason that doesn't... Like, if I say, oh, wear hats and hoods because I can't see your face, that's understandable. It's not hiding my face! It's not. I'm cold. Yeah, I got my Batman blanket. Just for the legs, though. I'm wearing shorts because I just got back from track. It's cold in this room. Anyways, it's not covering my face. Does this look like it's coming? Can you see my face? My very beautiful face? Yes. You can. You can see it. This is supposed to be a thumbs up. Yeah, you can see my face. What you can't see is the bad hair that I had. I was chopped. More chopped than this llama right here. More chopped than a llama. More chopped than more chopped than that one Hitchback from the Disney movie. Like, I was looking bad. Anyways, it's another dumb rule that I don't understand. That one is in... I had the paper right here. That one's in D tier. Because there's worse rules, but it's still really bad. Because why? What's another school rule? We're gonna go with the obvious one, no fighting. I'm gonna put that in B tier. Understandable. And hear me out, okay? I'm not putting it in S tier or A tier. But I'm not putting it in B tier. I did put it in B tier. But I'm not putting it in D tier or F tier. No fighting is the perfect middle. Just like no phones. Because people want to do it, but it's understandable why they can't. Bachata. It's so good. I got it from the Mexican hibachi. Shout out to the Mexican hibachi. It's not Mexican hibachi. It's they combine hibachi, not cooking food, like hibachi food with Mexican food. It's really good. Excuse me. No fighting, because, hear me out. We all have our beef. There's gonna be kids, and you're gonna be like, I don't like them. They're annoying. I got my own. There's this one kid, for his sake, I'm gonna call him Gregory. Not Five Nights at Freddy's Gregory. Diary of a Wimpy Kid Gregory. Because he is such a wimp! Today, earlier, I was in my second period class, biology. And we gotta grab these folders and pencil pouches that she's assigned to us. Which, you know, nice of her, you know. It's nice of her to get those supplies for us. He didn't have any room, so instead of being patient, he climbs over the table where this girl was working at, and she doesn't even curse at him. She does, but only after she gets in trouble. Because she says, and I cannot quote because I forgot what she said, but she says something along the lines of, back up, fool. And then he starts breaking down. I wanted to fight him. Because it's not that deep. I'll give you something to cry about. And other times, he would just enter the classroom. And we have this daily reading target. Every time he gets called on, oh my god, I can't do this today. Miss Biology teacher, I can't. Today's so bad. I wish he wasn't here. Like, shut up. Shut up. Bachata. Shut up. We don't care. That's not my problem. Tell that to your counselor. Which he does have a counselor, so there is probably something going on with him. Or he's faking it for attention. Either way, I don't care. Shut up. Just read it. It's 2 sentences. Shut up and read. I want to fight him. But I can't. See, one, because I get suspended, and if I get suspended, I'm gonna, you know. And 2, because it's not morally right. Because why would I fight him just for being annoying? Either way, he acts like a child, and I hate him. Grow up! We don't care. I'm sorry. This turned into a rant. This turned into a massive rant. I gotta get back on topic. Just moral of that story, I want to fight him because he just takes everything too seriously. He breaks down when you say, get out of my personal space. Ooh, I hate people like that. People who are just over dramatic for no reason. I probably act them like that, but like, that's just because he annoys me a lot. Like he's aggravating to just listen to. Anyways, but on the other, like, let me go with a better example. That was just a rant. I just wanted to rant about how annoying of a person he is. Now I wanted to fight him, but that doesn't matter right now. Coin attack. Oh, my chop is good. Let's say, for example, you got beef with someone, like I did with Gregory. Let's say you went to fight him at lunch. So you do so, he gets beat up. You might even put him in the hospital. No fighting rule is obviously for safety, but depending on the circumstances, you just don't have to always stop the fight. Like, if someone is talking major shit, I'm talking calling you slurs, like saying that he's gonna, like, talking about your family, in situations like that, you can't take that type of disrespect. You have to fight them. But in petty situations, like what I just described, where he's just annoying, I can understand where that comes in handy. Because if we could just fight anyone we wanted, anytime we wanted, it wouldn't be a school, it'd be a boxing ring. Because we're in high school, we're gonna think a lot of these kids are annoying because they don't match our energy. That's selfish, and that's understandable. At least that's how I see it. Moral of the story is, no fighting rule is B tier, understandable, and the school rule tier list. School rule tier list. Speak English, please. What's next? The dress code. I'm gonna put that in A. Good rules. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's so obvious. Three good words. 3 words that makes this an A tier, okay? 3 words is all that I need. We are minors! We're underaged! We don't need to be dressing up like hookers. Talking about the guys, too. Because I'll see some of the outfits that y'all have, especially some of the more hormonally active people, and it's just, we're not in a strip club, we're in school. Who are you trying to impress? The principal? The teacher? The students? We don't care. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get a few glances, but half of them are gonna be good glances. No, none of them are gonna be good glances. Because on one hand, you're gonna have the weirdos staring at you. And on the other hand, you're gonna have the people staring at you, looking at you like you're a hooker. That's the nicest way to put it. Moral of the story is, don't dress like a hooker. And don't act like one either. Keep your body count to a minimum. Even if it is for money, there's better ways to earn money. Donations, community service. Actually, community service is voluntary, but if you need money, you can find other ways to do it. I don't care if it's the easiest way. So you gotta have self-respect. Self-respect. So dress code is an A tier. When it's not making 0 sense. Because there will be times where it'll be like girls can't show their shoulders. Like, it's not that bad. I'm not gonna be drooling, fondling over a girl because I see her shoulders. And then it just won't apply to men when we wear a white, I don't want to call it a wife beater, but that's the only name I could think of when I think of that shirt. Yeah, when it makes sense, it's A tier. What else? Now, surprisingly, at my school, since I go to high school, I think that might change things. We can eat in class. But for those of you who can't eat in class, I'm going to put that in C tier, not the worst. In class. That one is in C tier, not the worst, okay? Because nobody wants ants. Nobody wants roaches. Nobody wants bugs. Nobody wants a filthy room. And it's harder on the custodians. That's literally the only reason. Because on one hand, I get it. You're hungry. You're starving. You don't get to have food for another 3 hours. So that's understandable why you would want to eat in class. But y'all are messy eaters. Y'all don't think that y'all are, but y'all are. Y'all drool in your sleep, too, even when you don't notice it. It's just dried up by the time you wake up. But it's not the worst rule. It's under I can get with it. I can get with it. Okay? I can stand behind that rule and say, you know what? That's not crazy. That's not crazy to say. So yeah, no eating in class, that's C tier, not the worst. What else? I don't know if this isn't even a rule, but it should be a rule. Not taking off shoes in class. Y'all got stink feet, bro. Y'all got stink feet. I'll see people switching Crocs. They'll be taking off their shoes like, oh yeah, man, this is a new 2025 version. Like, no, there's no need for all that. Like, it's not a rule. I'm not gonna add it on here, but it should be a rule. Y'all gotta stop taking off your shoes mid-class, mid-lecture. She'll be talking about how Odysseus was taking on this Cyclops, and I'll be like, wait, hold up. And I'll be like, oh yeah, this is the 2025 unreleased Jordan Pros or something like that. And then on top. That's nice. But it should be a rule. We should not be allowed to take off our shoes mid-lecture in school. It's just weird. It's just weird. What other rules are there? I guess no running in the halls. That's an old one. That's a classic. No running in the halls. That is a B, C. It's between B and C. When I discuss more about it, I'll pick a spot for it. But no running in the halls. I can get behind it. If every kid was running through the halls, which every kid does, but it doesn't happen often. If everyone was constantly running through the halls, there's gonna be a few accidents. There's gonna be blood on the tiled floor. People are gonna run into each other, bump each other's noses, and some of them might even kiss on accident, and then they're gonna fight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but seriously, there's gonna be people running into each other. Especially people who just can't see. I'm gonna put that in B tier. It's understandable. No running. Because no one wants to get hit in the face with a giant cranium. I'm talking to you, Jerry. You got a massive dome. I'm sorry. Not to you, Jerry, but to the people who can hear me screaming. Jerry, you do have a massive dome, though. Like, your head is about the size of the moon. So, moving on. An S tier rule is no weapons in school. That is an S tier rule. And it's self-explanatory. Not really, but you need common sense in order to understand why it's an S tier rule. Because on one hand, like, you could just be bringing it to flex. But no one cares. We don't. We're not going to be thinking about that 15 years from now. Talking about, oh yeah, that guy was so cool. I wonder where he's at now. No. If we do think about it, we're going to be like, man, that kid must have been an idiot to bring his gun to school. Or not for It's not cool. It's not funny. That's just weird. That's just weird. Because why? I can understand if you got beef, but even then, just settle it with your hands. Like my school, we got bad kids in my school, but we are not in the ghetto. We are not in the hood, bro. Put the guns down. Put the hands up. You throw hands, not sticks. So that's obviously an S tier rule. Because who the heck wants to get stabbed over a chicken nugget? People in my school fight for chicken nuggets. I've seen it more times than I can count. It's really weird. It's understandable, though. I really don't got many school rules here, though. I need something in F tier before I can end the video, though. Something in F tier. It is 6:04 right now, so I kind of started like half hour early for the live stream. I was supposed to start at 6, but I got home early. I'm like, you know what? Ain't no one here to bother me. I might as well start while I have the time, while no one is here to bother me. So if anyone gets here on the live stream late, oh well. That's not your fault. Not your fault. What the hell, bro? Why can't I speak? Anyways. Oh, that reminds me, no cursing rule. Which doesn't really apply to us half the time, but no cursing in school. That's understandable. Cursing. Because if I'm a teacher, I don't want to hear Eric Cartman, the fourth grader across the room, you fucking Joe! Just out of nowhere while I'm talking about y equals mx plus b. Like, it's just why. Like, high schoolers, we get angry pretty often. We do stuff that's unnecessary, okay? We're in high school. But even in high school, some of us gotta watch our language. I'm no better because in school I won't be going off. I'll be trying to watch my language, but I'll slip up more than a few times. But I'm not gonna do it on purpose unless I'm angry at someone or holding a grudge, and I don't hold grudges. So no cursing is B tier, understandable, because it's not a bad rule, but you know, it doesn't really stop us. If it did, then oh well, I guess. I need one school rule in F tier. I have an amazing school rule for F tier, bro. And it might only be for my school in my district. That might only be for my district. So I have it attached to my keys, and I'm not pulling it out. I'm pulling it out. I gotta. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. At my school. Forward, please. Forward, please! At my school, we have IDs that we scan on the bus so we can be allowed on, you know? You know, as long as we don't lose our IDs, we'll be fine. And our IDs, they look like... Well, they look like this. I'm not going to show the school or the top part, but that's what they look like. We use the QR code right here to scan on the bus to get on the bus. Now here's a counterpoint. What if we lose the ID and can't get to school or from school? What then? We got really irresponsible kids in that school. I'm one of them. I'm really irresponsible. My keys to the house are connected to that, and I've lost them more times than I can count. I've lost I lose everything. Everything. From my book bag to my coat. When I get a car, I'm gonna lose that. Like, when it's literally right to the left of me, down the street, in the parking lot, at Walmart, I'm gonna lose, I lose everything. Everything. Now, luckily, we only need it in the afternoons. When we're getting home. But that's the worst part. You don't need it to get to school, but you need to get from school. I don't got a wallet on me to take the SARTA bus. I don't got my ID to get it for free, because over at my district, we work with SARTA to get free bus passes. I don't have my ID to get on the normal school bus. My mom's gonna probably be at work, so no one can pick me up. I'll be stuck at the building with y'all because y'all didn't let me take the bus home because of my stupid ID. That's the new F tier. That's the one and only school rule F tier. I'm going to put it as bus passes. Next, we're gonna do some drills. So, school drills, we all know what they are, but for those who live under a rock and have never went to school before, school drills are basically drills that prepare you for natural disasters and even human disasters. For example, a tornado drill, fire drill, lockdown drill. I think those are the only three I can think of. But some of these drills are I don't know who's walking up the stairs. I may ignore them. What was that? Oh yeah, school drills. Until I can find more, I'm just gonna go off those three. First off, we're just gonna do fire drill. People think it's so stupid that we have to walk out the building while the whole building's gonna be on fire. But here's my kind of point. The building will never be completely on fire. Do you know how long that takes? At least 10 minutes. It takes us 5 to get out the building. What? Oh, alright. I'll be right back. What was I talking about? The building will never be fully on fire unless there is an explosion or multiple happening all around the building. Do you know how massive school buildings are? Do you know how... This is something that a lot of kids don't realize. When you do a fire drill, the fire will be, at most, the size of a room. It will never burn down the entire building when you're still in it, because that would require gasoline, explosions, a lot of stuff, okay? Every time a real fire drill has happened, it's been burnt popcorn, maybe an exploding microwave once. Never, ever has the full building been on fire. Never even has the room been on fire. Fire drills are B tier. I can understand why we have to walk in a straight line, because the building's never going to fully be on fire. And if it is, then y'all can panic. But it never will be, so you don't have to panic. Do y'all see where I'm coming from? Don't panic in a fire drill when there's no fire. Fire. Tornado drill. That, I think, is a stupid drill. Now, me personally, I've never been in a real tornado drill, so I can't really speak upon how stupid the tornado drill is. So I'm going to use the powers of assumption and an educated guess. Now, assuming isn't good, but this is a YouTube video and I don't care. So, tornado drills, I'm going to put in C tier. Not the worst, because I'm going to put it in D tier bad. Because it's not the worst, but it's still pretty freaking bad. I have to go again. I'll yell at y'all later, though. I'm gonna yell at y'all later. Tornado drills are stupid. Wait, let me get my cat. No, she left me! Okay, you left me. Anyways, tornado drills are bad. Because you can't do anything in a tornado drill. When a tornado comes around, bro, it's a tornado. It's a massive gust of wind that circles around infinitely until it ends. So I can understand why the school's like, oh, you know what? Just duck and cover. At the same time, it's not the 70s. We can think of something more creative and go in the hallways and start twerking with our knees and elbows on the ground. We could think of something a little bit more creative than that, don't you think? We could think of something a little bit better than that, right? Maybe, I don't know, build a basement. There is a basement in the building. For newer buildings, just, I don't know, install more basement? Is that so hard? And please don't tell us to line up. That's pen. Because there's gonna be kids that are super slow. I run track and cross country. I am blasting past almost everyone. Because I have the stamina to, at least I had, The stamina to run 10 miles. Easy. And there's these kids that can't run 10 feet without dying of hyperventilation. Don't put those kids in front of me. I'm gonna push them, step on them, and keep it moving. There's a tornado. I'm not gonna wait on your fat ass. Ooh. I'm not fat shaming anyone for those who's gonna get offended. Okay. But no, seriously though, tornado drills are not effective at all. Tornadoes can rip off roofs. I'm gonna be on the second story of the building. It's not gonna be very stable up there, we'll say. Tornado drills are bad. But you know what's even worse? Lockdown drills. And, ooh, I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. This one is in F tier. Let me tell you why. First off, everybody knows about the lockdown drill. That's why, and I don't know if this is true or not, so don't quote me on this. This is just a blind assumption. If I get it wrong, do not attack me. But from what I've heard from YouTubers who have no information about what they're talking about, America is pretty frequent with school shootings. You want to know why? Because the school shooters always know what's gonna happen. Let's draw a scenario. Not literally, but let's make a scenario, okay? 10:30, you're in your second period. All of a sudden, you see this guy with an Uzi outside. We're just gonna say an Uzi because it's we'll make it AK-47. M4. We're gonna go with the M4. I don't know if that's a real gun or not, but it's off Call of Duty, so oh well. You see a guy with the M4 outside of your school building. You alert them. You know what? You wanna know how he gets in? He gets in. Either way, it doesn't matter how he gets in. He gets in. And while he's in the building, the principal goes on the loudspeaker and says, "Alright, folks, we're going through a lockdown drill. Our people are going through a lockdown drill. Lock your windows, hide, and make sure he doesn't hear you." Like, my guy, he can hear you! He knows the plan! It's stupid! We need to get more creative with this. Get on it! Because he's in the building and you're letting him know what we are gonna do. That's not what I'm doing. I'm grabbing something and attacking him. I'm gonna take him by surprise. You know what this is? This is a bet that I've had since I was 7. It's never failed me before. Yeah, it's never failed me before. Even with fake threats, like ghosts. That's actually a really interesting story I'll tell you about it. Later! Jesus. Talk. Anyways, I'm getting angry. Because lockdown drills are stupid. They'll come in the building. He'll hear, on the shooter will hear on the loudspeaker that we're going to be locking the doors and hiding. So, plan A's already gone to shit. What's stopping him then? The locked doors? He has a Uzi. With multiple rounds. You think he didn't come prepared? He might have a lockpick. He might have another gun. And by the time the cops get there, what are they going to come back to? Half the building's already gone. Rip. And I'm not trying to be funny. This is a serious situation. Lockdown drills genuinely need to be updated. Because they're going to be, again, they're going to be in the building when the loudspeaker's like, "Alright, attention students, We are going through a lockdown drill. Hide in the furthest corner that he can't see you, so that he doesn't find you, and lock your doors. And he'll just leave after a while. He can hear that. Where he's not dumb. We're not dumb. How did this pass? Because everyone knows it now. He doesn't even need to hear the siren. It's Monday at 10:30. You think they're not gonna be at school? You think he's just not gonna know the schedule? You think he's just gonna leave like, oh, all the doors are locked? You know what? Maybe I was hallucinating and I didn't hear the speaker say that. Maybe there are hiding kids. No! Why? It's so stupid, man. It's dumb. Anyways, before I get really mad, for that one person who just joined, it's a school stuff tier list, and I'm putting lockdown in F tier. Like, what the actual fuck, bro? It's just not. We are not in the 50s, because this came out in it came out a long time ago. I don't know when. But back then, it might have been more effective because it was less known. Nowadays, there isn't a soul in the world who doesn't know what a lockdown drill is. Who is above the age of 5. It's useless. We might as well just the principal on the loudspeaker, he might as well just say, you know what? All the kids are hiding in the rooms. And, you know what? Teachers, you might as well keep the doors unlocked. Because there's no point in hiding from him if you're going to alert to the whole building that we're going through a lockdown drill. It's so stupid, bro. It's stupid. It's a dumb situation. What other school stuff can I talk about? Because I've gone through school drills, school rules. What other school things is there to talk about? I don't know. I'm done. I'm not gonna lie. This has deeply angered me. Because it's really dumb. A lot of the school stuff is stupid. The rules, they can be good, but a lot of them are dumb. The drills, like the fire drill isn't bad. I've been through a lot of fire drills. None of them, anyone has gotten hurt. No one's ever gotten hurt in a fire drill unless there was an explosion, which never happens. So, it's not a bad drill. Tornadoes, there are bad drills. And teachers were like, during the drills, they'll correct you if your ass is not sticking out enough. I am 5 years old. Why are you paying attention so much to that? Schools are breeding grounds for pedophiles. I'm just realizing that. I'm getting way off topic. School drill and school rules tier list. It's done. I'm done. I'm getting angry.